Welcome back, guys. Today we're out riding the 1983 Honda V45 Sabre. It's a VF750S. I just noticed you can see my battery peeking out under the side cover. That's interesting. So you either love it or you hate it. You're either nostalgic on it or you hate it. But let's do a quick walk around on it. Get out and ride a few minutes. Double front brakes, as I told you in another video. I don't know, I tell you things in every video. And these are really good tires. As you know, I run what's on them. If they're safe, if they're not, you know, then we gotta do something different. This is mostly stock. A couple things done. I did put stock pipes after the other ones rusted out. The seat is recovered, and I think I have another seat. I know I have another one that I need to pick up, but turn signals are different on the front to the rear. I don't know what's stock and what's not. These might be stock. Look how far they jut out there. And yeah, a little bit of custom paint there. This looks like it used to be red, the reddish pink color. Although the tank looks to be black, and I think that's actually black to match. No, the side covers actually have a little bit of red on them. So this bike might have been red at one point. It looks good black. Previous owner called it Black Beauty. So, chrome fender. We got a fork brace there. And whether these turn signals are factory or not, they look like they might be from a Magna. So that's fine. I don't know if this housing was coming apart. Previous owner, I haven't changed anything. Previous owner did install a fan button here, switch, so you got to operate that manually. The fan will not come on for cooling unless it's turned on manually. Like I said, these are on there holding something together. I don't know, maybe it's just holding on this. But 25,900 miles, and you do have a gas gauge. I'll show you that later. But you also have a fuel petcock. So if you let that get low, you'll run out of fuel. You can switch to reserve. So you're not going to run out of fuel if you let it run low. The case was definitely painted with some black paint, and it's peeling off. You know, I like my bikes a little bit dusty. I like them to be solid, as that's not really solid. It's just sitting there, but your leg's gonna hold that on. Shaft drive, drum brake in the rear, as I've said in other videos. Here is an charging point, or you can run accessories off of that. That would connect to the battery. That's not factory, and the twist tie is definitely not factory. But a solid all-around bike. I've got it running pretty good. It does have a minor bit of valve tap when you're idling sometimes, not always. So I'm not too concerned about it at the moment. But it is a V4 dual overhead cam, 16 valve liquid cooled bike, as we talked about the cooling system before. So this is a solid, awesome motorcycle. Like I said, tires aren't dry rotted or cracking, and it's pretty nice. So does have a center stand, but my girlfriend was on the back, and she did say that she kind of slides forward on the seat. But maybe we need to get this out again and take it for another spin now that we've been riding other bikes. See what she thinks of it now. Alright, let's get in the cockpit here. Like I said, you either love it, hate it, nostalgic for it. It has all these trip monitors, and it does have a clock telling you what time it is all the time. It does drain a trickle charge out of it while it's not being run. But I don't know, in 1983 they thought we needed this futuristic looking gauge. Obviously Atari looking gauges there. So we have our clock, trip meter, and down here, this is, I think, to reset your warning lights. I don't know why I would use that. I guess there's something, when you start it, it goes through the checks here, tells you if everything's set up and working. Horn does work. We're missing the button. Doesn't really matter. Up here you can just set a timer, elapsed time, start and stop, and select different things. Estimated time. That must just be your timer. Yeah, that's your timer. So you can start that. That's going to count for you. You can stop it and reset it. So I like the clock. Hydraulic clutch, mirrors, whether they're factory or not, are dirty, but they're in a good spot for me. Obviously hydraulic brakes up front, not in the rear. And then here's how you set your clock, hour and minute. So it's kind of a nice little setup. Temperature gauge right here. We better get moving or she's gonna overheat. As you see up here, all your warning. Whoa, okay. Guys, I have done that before. I left the kickstand down, and apparently there would be a warning. There would be an automatic shut-off, and I couldn't have done that. Somebody bypassed that. All right, well, good to know. All my Sabres so far have had the clutch, or I'm sorry, have had the kickstand switch bypassed. All right, so we're on the move. I'll shut my visor so you can hear me. With the factory setup on the exhaust and everything, she sounds really just nice and throaty and solid. This is a very fast engine for a 750. It's a V4, so you can look up your specs. I don't have them on me at the moment, but you're going to be getting about 78 to 82 horsepower. And I don't know how much different this one is than the Magna. I don't have brochures on them. It'd be nice to find them. If anybody wants to send me screenshots of the brochures from 83, that would be awesome. Go to normalguy_gettingby on Instagram. You could probably send me pictures there. But 6-speed transmission, so it's 5 with overdrive, and just a really comfortable motorcycle. My legs are under me, so it's not quite a sport bike position because I'm not sitting too far forward, but it's just a nice, comfortable, your hands fall where they're meant to be, and it's just kind of fun to drive. It's not a cruiser, so you're not sitting back, and it's not a sport bike position where you're uncomfortable. When you ride this, your arms are just sitting here. You're not putting pressure down on them. I mean, you can just kind of chill on the bars, and we're not stressing out your wrists. Again, no gloves, I'm sorry. What else you want to know about this thing? I think there are some air valves under here to adjust the front suspension. Other than that, this thing handles pretty good. Aside from the 1100 Sabre, which is a beast, the 1100 Sabre probably weighs 50 to 100 pounds more. And it really doesn't, at least my example of it, really doesn't handle that well. This guy, you can put into the twisties a little bit. I was pushing it a little bit harder yesterday, and I was impressed with how it held on. I'm sure tires have to do with that, something with that, but it does handle quite well. And your steering is very, very, very quick. You can just kind of tap it a little bit, and you're already moving. I have idle set right about 1200, and that's kind of where I like it. If it's any lower, it almost feels like it's going to shut off, and I like to idle just where it sounds like it's just purring, just quietly purring along. And that valve tap I talked about seems to go away once the bike is warmed up. So It's probably that oil just getting up to the top of the engine. Yeah, the seat isn't, it's good, but I think I could find a better example. It's not the best seat, but then again, it's somebody's homemade version of the seat. There's some guys. Wonder if they're going to Gettysburg Bike Week. Take it easy, guys. Happy trip. Hopefully it doesn't rain like crazy tomorrow. But yeah, you know, talking about this bike, this isn't your standard 80s cruiser. And it's not really your standard 80s sport bike that aren't that attractive. Like, this thing fit in somewhere in the middle, maybe like a sport touring bike. And I say that about the 1100. This holds a lot of gas too. The other thing I want to talk about is the fuel setup on this is one fuel tank, and it's gravity fed. There is no fuel pump on this bike, as on the Magnas. So gravity and one tank. The gas comes out to your petcock. There's a vacuum operated, well, your fuel valve. So gas comes out of your tank into the fuel valve. You can shut that off. And then there's a vacuum operated petcock, which opens up your fuel to flow. And then it flows right into the carburetor. So it's kind of a simple system, effective, and yeah, pretty standard for a lot of the older bikes of the time. And even today, I guess. Well, not today. You don't have carburetors today. But a lot of the bikes I do work on and pick up do have a fuel pump, thanks to Honda. Because the Magna has, a lot of the Magnas have two separate tanks. You have your main tank and then your auxiliary tank. I don't remember which one they call which. But the main tank flows into the auxiliary tank, and that's when it sets off the sensor that your gas is getting low. And then that goes into a fuel pump that has to pump it back up to the carburetor. So it's cumbersome. It allows for a bit more fuel, but it's just a lot, guys. It's a lot. And then when you clean out rusty fuel tanks, you got to do both of them, and you got to rip the back end. Okay. You got to rip the back end off the bike just to get the fuel tank out. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. This one, all your tank is right here. So pop it, you're done. It takes a couple minutes to get the seat off and the bolt, and then it just slides right off. After you disconnect the fuel line, of course. So yeah, that's a good quick look at the 1983 Honda Sabre. Trying to think, they made the 750 from 82 to 83, 84, 85, and I believe 86 they made the 700 due to the tariffs. And then I think the Sabre line was done, because I know the V45 1100 Sabre only ran 84 and 85, but I think this made it through at least 85 and possibly 86 yet. And that, I think, was the end of the Sabre line. So let me show you here. Right now we're in 5th gear. Click up one more, you're in overdrive. So that's just kind of cool. Nice cruising. Just kind of rolling along. So anyway, if you like old motorcycles, if you like any motorcycles, if you know, whatever. If you like watching my content, you think I'm funny, you think I'm informative, you just like looking at what I got or what I'm working on, give me a subscribe, give me a like on this video, go through and watch all 400 of my videos, whatever you want to do, guys. I will see you in the next one. Get out and ride, and have a great day.